Well, could we be about to see a quite big, quite major U-turn from the Conservative government? Though I suspect this one would be actually quite popular with many of you who watch my channel. Now, this is relating to the green agenda, the net zero agenda. And of course, we've seen the Telegraph, one of those really pushing against this, what they describe as a ludicrous net zero timetable. And of course, you saw recently that narrow Conservative victory in the Uxbridge by-election, basically on that single issue of opposing Sadiq Khan's expansion of ULEZ. Had the former Conservative leader Ian Duncan Smith talking about this ULEZ issue being a lightning rod. And you've even had the Telegraph call for a referendum actually on this issue. They pointing out that in places like the Netherlands and Germany now, a backlash against much of the green agenda has very much begun. You can see that, for instance, in Germany right now. Meanwhile, in Italy, you've even got them talking now about reopening mines that were closed some 30 years ago. So where is Rishi Sunak's government on all of this? Because, of course, an election is fast approaching. The Tories trailing Labour heavily in the national polls. And, of course, nothing focuses minds more than an election. So you've had a bit of confusion in terms of this 2030 petrol car ban. Some indications that there could be a watering down of the government's net zero plans, and signals that Rishi Sunak himself could be prepared to soften some of the green agenda. Patrick O'Flynn actually commented on this, saying that Rishi Sunak has just dropped the Tory pledge to ban the sale of new petrol and diesel cars by 2030. Asked to reaffirm it, he deliberately avoided doing so. And this was Rishi Sunak being asked about this and his response. Let me know what you make of the Prime Minister's answer here, guys. And if the government did change course on net zero, on the green agenda, would they have more chance, the Conservatives, of winning your support at the next election or not?
Is your government still fully committed to ending the sale of petrol and diesel cars by 2030 and that net zero pledge, that central pledge of reaching that by 2050?
Yeah, of course net zero is important to me, and that's why after I became Prime Minister earlier this year I set up a brand new government department for energy security and net zero. So yes, we're going to keep making progress towards our net zero ambitions, and we're also going to strengthen our energy security. I think the events of the last year or two have demonstrated the importance of investing more in homegrown energy, whether that's more nuclear or offshore wind. I think that's what people want to see, and that's what I'm going to deliver.